when we are all finished, along with a resource guide, and we are also recording this as well. So let's get started here. And I apologize because I completely forgot to update these numbers this morning. But just so everyone knows, these numbers that you're seeing here are a little bit out of date. I think that they're a week or so old. As of this morning, we have about 2,700 people registered for the SBC and a little over 800 registered for the NVSBE. So our combined total number of registrants right now is about 3,650 individuals. So we still have people registering every day. And we expect to be very close, if not over 4,000 total folks. So with that being said, just want to kind of make sure everyone realizes the scope of what we are about to get into next week, and we really could not pull all of this off without you. So we see you guys as an extension of our staff. You are, every single one of you is an essential member of the team on site. So we really want to thank you. And as we move through all of this information, this is why it is so critical that we are having this. So if you are living under a rock, you wouldn't know that we have a co-location going on. So basically, we've got two events happening in the same location at the same time, sharing the same space and some common activities. The SBC and the NVSBE are co-located. If you are unfamiliar with the NVSBE, that stands for National Veterans Small Business Engagement. It is an event that has been hosted by the Department of Veterans Affairs. And so we are really excited about this year. So just so everyone knows some of the ins and outs of the co-location. And before I go on, I want to remind everyone of the ability to submit questions. You are going to use the chat function on the GoToMeeting toolbar. You can type your question into that chat functionality anytime you have a question, and I will take note of it, and we'll make sure that we get your questions answered. It is very crucial that everybody really understands all of the information. So there is no stupid question, because if you have a question about it, I am sure that somebody else will have a question as well. So back to the ins and outs of the co-location. So basically, any individual who is registering for one event can freely attend the activities of the other conference. It's one price for both events, so it's a great value. There are some activities that are appointment-based, and that is mostly the networking roundtables. There are networking roundtables for the SBC, and there are separate networking roundtables for the NVSBE. Both have to make an appointment using the appropriate system for that activity. There is only one registration area. Any kiosk, any desk can help anyone. It doesn't matter which event they're registered for. Everyone will have a barcode. We will get to that, and the badge can be printed out at any place where badge printing is happening. There's only one exhibit hall. There's only one plenary session room. Each conference has its own separate opening plenary session, but they're happening in the same place. SAME is managing and recruiting all of the volunteers, and SAME is managing and executing all of the logistics and organizing the whole conference. So if any questions come up regarding really anything, SAME is the one who's taking care of it. What is different? There are two different websites. Of course, the SBC website, hopefully you are familiar with that, samesbc.org, and the NVSBE website is nvsbe.com. There are two different systems for making networking roundtable appointments. We will get into this a little bit more in detail later, but I think that this is going to be the most confusing part of the whole week for our participants. There are two different apps. There are two different printed programs. There are two different what we call attendee quick guides. The schedules are mostly similar in that most activities are happening at similar times. So with all of that said, again, it's a lot of information, so we thank you for learning it all. Okay, before we get into everything, of course, we want to cover safety. If there is some type of minor incident that occurs, like somebody cuts their finger while they're opening a box, they twist their ankle, there is a first aid station located in lobby B as in boy, E as in echo, and H Harry during move-in, event hours, and move out. That is where we would send someone who just needs some quick medical care. If the situation is life or death, of course, we don't panic. We want to check, call, care, and communicate. So check the scene for safety, check the victim for consciousness, breathing, etc. We are going to call the Convention Center Public Dispatch at the number that you see on your screen, 504-582-3040. The phone number is also going to be in the resource guide that we provide you. Do not call 911. Call the public dispatcher. The reason is, especially you local folks know, this is a huge convention center. So it might seem counter than what anything you have taught, but calling the public dispatcher before calling 911 is going to get the first responders there quicker and more efficiently than if we call ourselves. When you call the public dispatcher, give them your name, your exact location. I am in Exhibit Hall B in front of booth 405. Someone has fainted. They are not responding. And then, of course, care for the victim if you can. Stay with the individual until help is on the way. And you want to communicate with me or Amira. Amira is our meeting manager. And our phone numbers are in the resource guide. Please communicate with us so we know what is going on. We will come to you and you take over the situation. Someone has asked, will the medical info be given to us when we report for handy access? It is in the resource guide. I ask that all of you plug in the phone number into your cell phone prior to your departure. Great question. If there is an evacuation type of incident or a shelter-in-place incident, of course, we want to remain calm. We are an example for our participants, so please don't panic. They're going to follow your lead. Listen to instructions. We have the evacuation procedures in the reference guide for more information. And our rally point in the event of an evacuation is the whale wall. It's across from the Great Hall entrance. You cannot miss it. This is a photograph of this huge wall with whale painted on it. Great. Okay, so moving on. Before you arrive for the event, we ask that you please read and familiarize yourself with all of the information about SBC and NVSBE. We will send you via email today the resource guide and a copy of these guides. Please, please, please read the resource guide. today, over the weekend, on the plane on the way there if you're not local, just so you know the information. Please bring the reference material with you and have it on your person at all times. We ask you to download the SAME Events app. This is a very quick way to reference what is going on, where it's going on, and when. And input your cell phone into your cell phone number, as I said, the emergency number, into your phone, as well as my number and the number for the volunteer lounge, which is where you check in each day. And of course, we want to bring your best attitude, bring your business cards, as you will be doing a lot of networking and, of course, a lot of smiles. Okay, when you get on site, you want to check into the volunteer lounge, that is room 203, at least 15 minutes before your shift, so we can account for your whereabouts on the first day, so you can pick up your spiffy blue volunteer vest. If you are running late or you cannot make your shift at all, you need to call the volunteer coordinator as soon as you know that you're going to be late or as soon as you know that you cannot make it. We need every single position filled. So if you are going to be 30 minutes late, we need to fill someone else into your slot. The phone number is a landline in the office. We're waiting for that number, so we will get it out as soon as we possibly can. You are to wear the blue volunteer vest that we are providing during all of your shifts. Wear it over your regular attire. Basically, your regular attire should be just business casual, appropriate attire, you know, slacks, a skirt in a neutral color, and an appropriate shirt. Please do not wear your blue vest if you are not working, because people will come up to you and ask you questions. Again, please be on time for your assignment. When your assignment is over, please check in again at the volunteer lounge with the volunteer coordinator that you have gone. It would be very helpful if anything occurred on your shift or if you've got some tips for people working in that capacity later. Please share it with the volunteer coordinator because that is very helpful to know. And most of all, have fun, engage with all of the participants, and jump in where asked that is beyond what maybe you've been assigned to, but within the hours of what you have signed up for. Customer service. Please respect directions, rules, and procedures. They are in place for a reason. Have the reference materials with you at all times. There's probably only one question out of 100 that is not answerable via the materials. If you don't have the answer to a question, please let the person know, hey, you know what, I don't know, let me find that out for you. Then you can call the volunteer lounge, or you can call me or Amira or another SAME staff person that you see to get the question answered. Of course, we want to be patient and smile, and we ask that you do not eat while sitting at a workstation. Okay, we're going to go into all of the different positions that are available. It is expected that you understand all of the positions in case we need to make some real-time shifts in what you are doing. We might realize, wow, we've got way too many people at registration. We need folks to move over to the DWDM luncheon. So you should be ready to pretty much jump into that role with minimal training. So I'm going to go over these positions. Bag stuffing, which happens on Monday. Pretty easy. This is just inserting all the appropriate items into each bag. There are 2 different bags, so we want to make sure that we are putting the right things into the right bags. DWDM luncheon. DWDM stands for Dining with Decision Makers. This is a standard activity within the NVSBE, where basically each PDM, which is procurement decision maker from the VA, is assigned to a specific table. So if you're working at this capacity, you're basically going to be helping the table host locate their appropriate table and helping guests find the table that they're looking for. We may ask you to put out table numbers or tent cards at the appropriate table. On site, we will provide with the list, the reference list that gives the names and the table numbers of all of the individuals. Floater on call is basically just jumping in wherever needed. So anyone that is signed up to be a floater, we're especially counting on you to be able to just really jump in quickly in a number of things. And this is left over from our staff meeting, so I will guarantee you that we are not going to ask any of you volunteers to track down any missing packages. So, so sorry about that, but that might be a relief to some of you. Human arrow is basically directing people to their desired meeting location, helping move major crowds from one event to the next. The networking roundtables, any of you on the call right now are only going to be asked to work at the SBC networking roundtables. And it seems like someone's car alarm is going off outside of my window here, so apologize for that. You are going to direct folks to the appropriate tables, help people look up the schedule on their app, answer questions, so forth. Ticket takers at the closing plenary lunch. You're going to collect tickets as people arrive. And if someone does not have a ticket, there are 2 responses. Some people may have lost their ticket. If they signed up for the lunch and they lost their ticket, you will direct them back to registration to get a replacement ticket. If someone did not sign up for the lunch, what we will do is let them know that they can come in about 15 to 20 minutes after the session has started. We do expect no-shows. There are always people who don't show up. We have never not been able to accommodate people who haven't signed up. So basically, in this situation, patience is going to be a virtue for the people who didn't sign up. And you as a volunteer, just to say to them, I'm sure we'll be able to let you in, but because you didn't RSVP, we've got to save the seats for the folks who did. So thanks in advance for your help on that. Okay. So a couple of the more in-depth positions, the briefings and education sessions. There's in the SAME side of things, there are 6 to 8 sessions happening concurrently. So each of you will, probably about 2 of you will be assigned to each session. We're going to ask that you just verify that the correct sign is outside the door, and that there's a podium sign hanging on the podium inside the room. You're going to scan the attendee badges as they enter the room. We ask that one person count the number of attendees in each session at about the halfway point of the session. And after the session is over, you are going to deliver the room count to the speaker ready room. This is also where you're going to pick up the scanners, is at the speaker ready room. After the session is over, for someone to do a clean sweep of each room, basically go to the head table, replace the speaker bottled water. If the speaker's left any papers up there, clear them off and throw them away. In the information booth, you are going to answer any and all questions that somebody may have. If you can't answer a question, then ask an SAME staffer. We will have both the SBC and NVSBE programs for you to refer to. There will be a laptop at the station, so you're going to need to be adept with where to look up information on the website, and just be familiar with what's happening around the time frame in the next time frame so you can direct folks to that location. And of course, the top 2 questions that people ask anyone are, where is the restroom and what is the Wi-Fi code? So just make sure you can answer that, and those questions will be answered of each and every one of you volunteers. Okay, so registration. Many of you are signed up for Express registration. Now, as you know, registration is the first point of interaction that anyone has with the conference. So we are counting on you guys to make sure people feel welcome, that they feel greeted, that we know that they are excited. We are excited that they are there. So when folks come up, number 1, you want to ask them if they are already registered. Again, it does not matter if they're registered for SBC or NVSBE. If they're pre-registered for either, we can help them at Express registration unless they have a balance due. So if they are registered, we're going to ask them if they have the barcode from their confirmation letter. There are some barcode scanners. We're just going to scan the barcode. The badge prints out literally immediately. Beep, it prints out. So we're going to hand them the printout. You are not expected to rip it apart and stuff it into the holder. Remind the individual that all of their tickets are with their name badge and not to lose them. Their drink tickets are on there. If they've signed up for any special events, that includes that Friday lunch. It includes our technical tour that's on Tuesday. Remind them about the tickets, and that if they are replaced, we cannot, if they are lost, we cannot replace them. You want to hand them the badge, the appropriate color holder, which we will get to in a moment, and then direct them to which conference bag they need. Again, there are 2 bags. They are very similar looking, and they're different colors. The SBC bag is charcoal, and the NVSBE bag is blue. We will have extra copies of each program, but we want to make sure that the folks take the correct program because there's different quantities of each. And then the parting words are, thank you so much for being here. Are you participating at all in the NVSBE? Have you done your schedule yet? If they have not, we want to direct them to the scheduling area. This is very, very important. And then, of course, we want to say, okay, you know, wonderful. Go take care of your schedule. After that, we've got the plenary session at X time, and it's right over there. Have a great conference. So glad that you are here. If the person is not already registered, we're going to direct them to the full service counter. And if anyone has a balance due, again, they need to go to the full service counter. If you are tasked, if your task is full service registration, you will not be working behind the counter and taking people's money. What we ask for you to do is basically line control. There tends to be lines at full service registration because, of course, it takes a little bit longer, but sometimes people end up in the line even though they've already registered. So what we're going to ask you folks to do at full service registration is ask people in line if they have already registered. If they say, yes, I am, make sure they don't have a balance due. If they don't, redirect them to the express kiosk because that will take them 1 minute. Standing in line is going to take them 10 minutes, and it's very frustrating for people to find out they didn't need to be standing there waiting. And that is the tasks. So again, just to go over the NVSBE participation, just so all of you folks know, it is the expectation and requirement that anyone participating in the NVSBE, that they build a profile in the NVSBE EMS. The EMS is Event Management System. Excuse me, it is a tool that the NVSBE uses to book their networking roundtables, and also they do want people to fill in a profile, and also they do want people to tag sessions that they are going to attend. The VA does use this tool throughout the year basically to search for contractors. That's why it's important for the profile. Now, the ins and outs of this is, so if somebody registered for the Small Business Conference, as all of you did, there was a question in the registration form about whether or not you wanted to participate in the NVSBE. This is crucial because a yes response is the tickler to get an account created in the EMS system. So if someone did not say yes, they want to participate in the NVSBE when they registered, but they've changed their mind, we need to add it to their registration so the account can be created in this EMS. So this is very important for us to understand. And also when people are registering on site, the registration data will automatically be transferred from the registration system, which is called eShow, into the EMS. But of course, with technology, you never know. So people are really just going to have to be patient. People are bound to be frustrated with this. For example, if they never got the login for the EMS. I mean, there's been many emails that have been sent out, but if people don't recognize it, if it gets caught in spam, no one would have gone in and tried to take care of this before. So we just need to keep our cool, help people understand there are many stations where people can build this profile and build their schedule within the EMS. There will be technical folks there to help. But if this question comes up, which it absolutely will, we just remain calm. Please assure people we've got folks here to help. We're going to make it work. And let us know what we can do to assist you. Okay, so with that little diversion, this is a sample of the registration confirmation letter with the barcode. So this is what people will scan at the express check-in counter. If someone doesn't have the barcode, they can still check in at the express registration counter. They'll just type their name into the computer that is there, verify it's them, and the badge will print out. So it's not essential that they have the barcode, but this is what it looks like. This is what the name badge that gets printed out looks like. As you can see, right below the name here, where it's circled in red, it tells you what holder to give. There is only one set of holders, but as you can see, Cindy is registered for SBC because it just says full conference screen. Joyce is registered for NVSBE. This is how we know which, excuse me, which bag each person needs. If it says NVSBE, they get the blue bag. If it doesn't say NVSBE, they get the charcoal bag. And then as you can see here, the tickets are here. So just so you have a sample of what gets printed out and what people will see. And these are the different colored badge holders. Just so you are aware, we basically have got 1, 2, 3, 4 types. We've got the green, which is going to be the majority of folks the blue in 2 different shades of blue for anyone who is with an exhibiting company. The orange is anyone who is with government, and the gray is the 1-day registration. And of course, we want to make sure we give them the appropriate day. Okay, so we have a question about how we check if they have a balance due for NVSBE, or are we just verbally asking? You just verbally, well, basically, you cannot print out the badge. You don't have to ask them if they have a balance due. It's just not going to let you print the badge out if they have a balance due. Otherwise, there are some questions about parking. There are many lots around the convention center. We do not have parking passes for you, unfortunately. There is a coat check in the lobby area and luggage storage as well. Will we have walkie-talkies? No, you will not have walkie-talkies. We will be relying on mobile phones. And okay, I think we've covered all of the questions that have come in so far. We will, again, yes, send this presentation out for your review after the call, and we will correct any errors that that come up. Okay, we are going to go into a quick day-by-day review of what is happening when, so on the appropriate day, you are able to provide outstanding customer service to all of our participants. So Monday, we've got bag stuffing, which some of you are helping out with. Thank you so much. We are setting up registration, setting up meeting rooms, and we do have registration open from 3 to 7. This was at the request of the VA. The folks who are coming here are mostly going to be from the VA, so this is a pretty low-key kind of day. Okay, so Tuesday, registration is open from 7 a.m. until 8 o'clock p.m. We have 3 concurrent training sessions for the VHA Veterans Health Administration. The locations of those are going to be in the resource guide. Exhibitor move-in is happening on Tuesday. One thing that routinely comes up with exhibitor move-in is some folks maybe didn't register as a booth staff and they registered as an attendee. If that is the case, we will need to verify that their company is exhibiting, and then we can give them the holder that is going to allow them access to the exhibit hall. If you don't have a blue badge or an orange badge, security will not let them into the hall. The SAME Board of Direction meeting is happening all day Tuesday, and there are some different breakout meetings. Again, the meeting locations are in the reference guide. We have an SMPS course that is Society for Marketing Professional Services. This was at an extra fee. At the moment, it is sold out. We will allow people in if there are some no-shows. We've got a technical tour of the permanent canal closures and pumps project. And again, we will allow walk-ins for that if space allows. And we have the VA staff call. Basically, all employees of the Department of Veterans Affairs are required to come to this staff call meeting. So I would expect maybe around 4:30, we may get an influx of people asking, where is the staff call? And then we have the SAME President's Reception happening from 5 to 6:30. Any of you are welcome to join us for that. That is in the Rivergate Terrace on Tuesday evening. And these are the locations of all of those activities. Okay, Wednesday, October 31st. Yes, we are aware it is Halloween. If anyone asks you why in the world would you schedule an event over Halloween, especially in New Orleans, basically, the response is we had to decide, we had to either avoid Halloween or Veterans Day. And we chose to avoid Veterans Day because these were the only times we could get the space for the meeting. So hopefully people will understand that we thought it was more important to not have our event over Veterans Day than over Halloween. I am sure that this will be asked. So just so you all understand, that is the rationale. So Wednesday, registration is open starting at 6:30, ending at 8 p.m. The NVSBE opening plenary session starts at 8 o'clock. So yes, there will definitely be people coming at 6:30 in the morning. We know it's early, so all of you folks who are working registration on Wednesday morning, I know it's early, but please be on time because we are definitely going to need you. It is going to be extremely, extremely busy from 6:30 a.m. until about 11:30. We are going to have to move almost 3,500 people through the registration and the scheduling process. So again, patience is definitely a huge must on Wednesday morning. We have got also the SBC first time attendee breakfast. Anyone who's a first timer of the Small Business Conference is welcome to come to that breakfast. We've got lots of council and committee meetings happening starting at 8. So again, it's just very crucial that we have our reference materials so we can direct people to the right location of where they want to go. Starting at 9 a.m. is when NVSBE concurrent sessions are happening. They've got some senior leader and executive leader roundtables, which are basically invitation-only events. The items you see on here that have an asterisk, that means it's by invitation only. So as you can see, it's a busy morning, and the Small Business Conference opening plenary session is at 11. So anyone who didn't check in on Tuesday or Monday, they're all going to be checking in Wednesday morning. So there'll be lots and lots of activity happening Wednesday morning, especially at registration and at those scheduling counters. 12:15 to 2, lunch is served in the exhibit hall with the dining with decision makers happening as well. We're going to get into that a little bit later. We've got a couple other private meetings, and then in the afternoon, we kind of go into regular mode where we've got all of our concurrent sessions happening and the exhibit hall opening. Again, here are all of the small meetings, the times, and the locations. There is a CEO roundtable that's happening on Wednesday afternoon. This was an application process to be admitted. The session is full, but if space allowed, we will allow for observers just in case you are asked anything about that. Just a few notes about some of the activities that are happening. Again, the first time attendee breakfast is really to help welcome newcomers. RSVPs were not required. The Small Business Council is helping us with that one, so hopefully it will be well attended. The opening plenary session speaker for the NVSBE is Karen Brazel. Any SBC person is welcome to attend that plenary session. You don't have to be with NVSBE for that one. Again, the NVSBE senior leader and executive roundtables are by invitation. USACE is having an award ceremony where it recognizes the achievement of their small business goals. This really is for USACE employees only. And the SBC opening plenary speakers are Lucien Niemeyer and General Semonite, and you see the photos of those folks right here. To go over the different business opportunity sessions in each, the NVSBE business opportunity sessions, we'll talk about those first. There are basically 29 sessions running concurrently. They're organized by business line and then by geography. So you can see here the 5 major categories of session. And then within this category, it's by geography. So for example, the sessions are going to be architecture and engineering opportunities in New York, architecture and engineering opportunities in the Dakotas, architecture and engineering opportunities in Southern California. All of the sessions are listed in your resource guide. They are also listed in the SBC app, just for everyone's convenience. These sessions are on the 2nd and 3rd floor above Exhibit Hall D. They are pretty much in separate locations from where the SBC sessions are located. Just to note, the NVSBE sessions are Wednesday and Thursday morning only. There are no NVSBE sessions happening on Friday. Presentations for these sessions have to be downloaded from the NVSBE EMS. If you don't have an EMS account, you're not going to be able to download those handouts. And there is no badge scanning happening at the NVSBE sessions. None of you guys are assigned to those sessions, but we're just giving you the information because it will definitely be asked. So the SBC sessions, we've got business opportunity sessions, and then we have education sessions. To clarify, the NVSBE, they have put information about our education sessions in their app, in their program, etc., except they refer to them as learning sessions. So if someone asks you about learning sessions, it's the education sessions. The education sessions are broken out into 4 different tracks, as you can see. The rooms are on the 2nd floor in the rear, except for a couple of them on Friday. All of the SBC sessions are being recorded, so that's great. The presentations can be downloaded from the SBC website on the session pages, and we are scanning badges for all sessions at SBC. So check your resource guide or the app for all of the session names, the times, and the room number. Okay, the Dining with Decision Makers, as I mentioned before, it's a traditional activity of the NVSBE. There are over 250 PDMs, that's Procurement Decision Makers, hosting a table. This is to give folks an informal opportunity to network with the VA's buyers. It's all assigned seating for the PDMs, but for attendees, participants, it's first come, first served. The PDM is required to be at their table for 1 hour. And then basically, if you're helping out with Dining with Decision Makers, you'll be given a list of the table assignments, and you basically just help people find the right table. The DWDM is happening Wednesday and Thursday in the exhibit hall in the large cafe area. We're going to go over the floor plan in a little bit. And the Friday closing plenary session has also got the DWDM component to it. Okay, moving right along. Day 2, Thursday morning. Again, we have got exhibit hall opening. Sorry, it says exhibitor final setup. It should say exhibit hall open. We've got continental breakfast in the exhibit hall that morning. The NVSBE does not have a plenary session today. There's just the SBC plenary session. They have a number of business opportunity sessions just in the 8:30 and the 9:30 time frames. They have canceled their 10:45 sessions. And in the afternoon, again, we've just got exhibit hall lunch, The SAME Academy of Fellows Lunch is happening on Thursday. And then we've just got briefings and sessions happening. And of course, networking roundtables start on Thursday. So we need to be updating this set of slides a little bit before we send them out to you. Okay, just some notes. SBC plenary session. This is also where the Small Business Awards are being presented. Our keynote speaker is Linda Bernardi. That's her photo right there. And we have our great awards being presented. You see our awardees there. There is a private meeting, the USAG meeting, first thing Thursday morning. We've got the DWDM lunch again today, the Fellows lunch for current SAME Fellows only. And then Friday, we have a VA awards ceremony, first thing in the morning. That is for their staff. We've got networking roundtables, the SBC briefings and sessions, the exhibit halls open, and we've got the closing plenary session with dining with decision makers. And then, of course, exhibit move out. Friday, the session speaker is James Byrne. He's the acting deputy secretary of the VA. And again, we've got more DWDM sessions and again, tables. And of course, this is the ticketed session. We will be taking tickets at the door. Okay, we're going to go over the floor plans now, and then we will talk a little bit more in detail about the networking roundtable. Excuse me for a second while I just had a sip of water. So this is the first floor of the convention center. You can see here most people are going to be entering the building from this side. This is where most of the hotels are. This is where anyone who's taking an Uber or a cab is going to be dropped off. So they are going to come in this way. We've got the the express kiosks located throughout the concourse here. Full service registration and scheduling is over here in this area. So again, after someone picks up their badge, we want to ask them, have they done their NVSBE schedule if you plan to participate? No, you want to head over to the scheduling area. You can see here where luggage and coat check is, where the Great Hall, where the plenary session is. Of course, the exhibit hall is here. From the exhibit hall, there are escalators in the rear of the exhibit hall that go right up to where the SBC networking roundtables are. So you can see that right here. The SBC networking roundtables are just right off of the SBC exhibit hall. And then this is the Dining with Decision Makers Cafe in the hall. And then, of course, the EMS office is right down here. Of course, all my highlights are running together at this point. Okay, the second floor of the convention center, the volunteer lounge, room 203, right here. Again, your check-in point each day. The SBC session rooms, if you're coming from the exhibit hall, again, there are escalators coming up, but there are catwalks across from this side to the other side. Lots of meeting and session rooms over here. All of the NVSBE sessions are in this different section of the center. So if someone is heading there from the ground level, it's really easier if they walk along the corridor on the first floor and then come up the escalators that are over here. The NVSBE networking roundtables are in this La Nouvelle ballroom. And, excuse me, oh, my highlighting stayed on here. These are all of the various SBC offices. And this is the third floor of the convention center. Basically, all of these are the NVSBE session rooms. Okay. Again, registration. These are the registration hours. As you can see, we kind of talked about this a lot, but what else is in the registration area is an internet cafe. There is a ribbon station where people can pick up ribbons. As we mentioned, we've got the NVSBE scheduling, and we have the SBC networking roundtable concierge also in the registration area. The exhibit hall, these are the exhibit hall hours. Again, no one can enter the exhibit hall during move-in or move-out hours unless they have got the exhibitor badge holder. What's going on in the exhibit hall? We have multiple beverage stations and water coolers located throughout the hall. If someone says they couldn't find anything to drink, they didn't look very hard. We talked about the dining with decision makers. We will have continental breakfast available Thursday and Friday morning in the cafe area. Specialty breaks in some of the afternoons, Wednesday and Thursday afternoon, are in the SAME booth and the cafe across from the 1100 aisle. We have an SAME booth in the hall where we can talk to people about membership and so forth. This is also where people can complete their passport drawing entries. We've got a networking reception both Wednesday night and Thursday night, and the relaxation lounge where people can get a seated chair massage. And this is the map of the exhibit hall right here. Okay, so just to talk a little bit more about the networking roundtables. So both SBC and NVSBE has networking roundtables. It's basically an opportunity for small group meetings with government, procurement, decision makers, and large businesses. And they are all by appointment. The SBC networking roundtables are happening, Thursday and Friday. In the SBC side of things, only small businesses can make appointments with public agencies and large businesses. The table hosts will manage their appointment times via the Exhibitor Service Center. The table hosts are supposed to either confirm or deny appointment requests, and again, it's via the Exhibitor Service Center. Small businesses request their appointments through the Attendee Service Center. Of course, people have a login for that. And we will have roundtable concierges Tuesday and Wednesday in the registration area, and then right on site at the location of the roundtables on Thursday and Friday. Folks can also make appointments via the SBC app. So we ask folks to arrive 10 minutes prior to their appointment time. The likelihood of that happening is who knows. The sessions are not in Exhibit Hall B, they're in Exhibit Hall C. These are roundtables. It is not a one-on-one meeting. There will be other small businesses at the table with them. We just say this because, of course, a lot of people don't read the information. The information has been published everywhere that this is not a one-on-one meeting. The appointment is only for one individual. So if I, as a small business, make an appointment, that does not mean I can bring 2 or 3 other representatives from my company. It is a seat for one person. The purpose of this meeting really is for the small business to learn more about doing business with the host. It's not about pitching their business to the table host. And our main point of contact on site is Natasha Rocheleau. So I'm just going to show you a quick, oh my goodness. Sorry about that. A quick demonstration of the attendee service center, and apologize for 1 second while I pull this up. Okie dokie. So, okay. So when someone logs into the attendee service center, this is the screen that they are going to see. What they want to do about the networking roundtables is click on this right here, networking roundtables and itinerary builder. This is where people can build an itinerary and make appointments with exhibitors. Since we are coming up on 12 o'clock here, I am not going to go into depth in this. However, just to say, when people log in, if they click on their tab that says appointments, this is where their appointments will be seen. I'm showing you a test record, so there are no appointments, but the appointments will be listed right here at the top. And it will show people the appointments they've requested, the appointments that have been accepted, and the appointments that have been declined. So this is the key to people knowing what's going on. At the bottom here of this screen, there is also the PDF itinerary. When you click on that, it comes up to show you your personalized itinerary. It looks like this. If you bookmark exhibitors, it's going to show you the exhibitors you bookmark. It's got a handy dandy color-coded map of the exhibit hall. And again, because this has no appointments, it would list the networking roundtables at the top and the assigned table for that meeting. So this is the reference point for that. So, and people can search for their host right on the screen, right down here at the bottom. So let's go back to our PowerPoint. Okay. The networking roundtables for the NVSBE are in the Novell Ballroom on level 2. They're happening Thursday and Friday. Again, all appointments are made and managed through the NVSBE EMS system. There are many, many profile building and scheduling kiosks next to full service registration in the pre-function area. I'm not going to give you a demo of the EMS, since most of you are not working on that aspect of things, so we won't spend our time doing that. Okay. Let's just go back quickly to the SBC website. Something's happening with my computer here. Okay, sorry about that. Whoa. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. My gosh. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's see. My link disappeared. Okay. I just want to do everyone a quick here we go. Just some quick highlights of the website. I think the number one thing to know is on the sessions page, if you just click on sessions here at the top of the page, this outlines all of the sessions occurring at SBC. And when the presentations are available, they will be posted right on this page at the very bottom of the section for that session. So that is one of the very frequent questions we have. Where will the session presentations be posted? It is on this page. Otherwise, the exhibit hall. On the exhibit page, you can see here, this is a map of the exhibit hall, which shows all of the exhibitors. If you were to hover your mouse over one of the booths, it will tell you the company occupying the booth. And at the top here is a handy dandy search feature. You can search for companies by name. You can search for small businesses by their small business designation. For example, if you are searching for a HubZone company to work with, you can simply hit HubZone, hit search. It's going to give you a list of those companies and then also highlight them on the map. So those are the highlights of the SBC website. Okay. So, sorry for all these technical difficulties I've been experiencing. And then, so that pretty much concludes all of the information that we needed to cover. I know it was a ton of information, and I'm sure I probably forgot something. These are the upcoming SAME events, and let's just look at some of the questions that have come in here. There was a question about the President's reception. Yes, any volunteer is more than welcome to come to the President's reception on Tuesday afternoon. And I think Amira's been giving some answers. Thank you so much, Amira, for typing in some answers to these questions. In case you're not reading them, someone asked about what is the street name for the entrance to the convention center. Is there a particular door to enter? The convention center is on Convention Center Boulevard. Imagine that. There is no particular door that you need to enter, but probably the Hall B doors. You will see a sign above the doors. The Hall B door is probably the most convenient to where registration is. Also, a heads up for everyone. Convention Center Boulevard is under construction. So all you local folks, if you were unaware of that, please plan accordingly if you are driving. What's funny about that is I think for the last 3 or 4 of our major meetings, the street outside the convention center has been under construction. I guess We're in the construction business, so we should be happy about that. So, other than that, if I'm just going to give you guys a minute to answer any of your last minute questions. So from the SAME team, again, this is Ann McLeod and my teammate Amira. We have been the ones putting all of this logistical stuff together so we can answer any of your questions. And our colleague Jill Murphy will be working in the volunteer lounge, as well as Kara Atchison from the Louisiana Post. Kara, if you're on, thank you so much in advance. So your main points of contact on site really are going to be Jill and Kara. Again, we ask that you please check in to the volunteer lounge from 203 before your shift. If you are going to be late or you cannot make it, please notify us as soon as possible. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone in advance again for volunteering. We really cannot pull this off without all of you. And we really just thank you so very much for volunteering your time. We look forward to seeing you next week, and safe travels to everyone, and have a great weekend. Thank you so much from the SAME National Office. We appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you in New Orleans. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we will be sending out all of the materials to you this afternoon. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.